If your worm bin smells like a garbage can instead of a garden, something is off. And it is not your worms. Every bad odor in a worm bin has a specific cause, and every cause has a straightforward fix. In the next few minutes, you will learn exactly what is going wrong and what to do about it, so your bin runs clean and odor-free from this point forward. Overfeeding is the single most common cause of a smelly worm bin, and it is an easy trap to fall into because it feels like you are doing something generous. When you add more food than your worms can process, the excess begins rotting in the bin before the worms ever reach it. That rotting food breaks down anaerobically, without oxygen, and that process releases the sulfur-heavy rotten egg odor that makes people want to move the bin to the far end of the yard. A reliable starting point is to feed your worms no more than half their body weight in food scraps per day. If you began with 1 pound of worms, that means roughly half a pound of food every 24 hours. Before you add anything new, take a few seconds to dig a small hole in the bedding and check whether the last feeding has been worked through. If uneaten food is still sitting there, wait another day or two before adding more. Patience here is one of the best tools you have. Excess moisture is the second most common cause of worm bin odor, and it creates the exact same problem as overfeeding. It shuts off oxygen. When your bin becomes waterlogged, the spaces between the bedding fill with standing water, and the beneficial aerobic microbes that help break down food suffocate. The bacteria that thrive in those wet, airless conditions are the ones producing the foul smell, and they will take over quickly once the balance tips. The bedding in your bin should feel like a well-wrung-out sponge, damp when you touch it, but not releasing any water when you squeeze it. If you pick up a handful and water drips out freely, the bin is too wet and needs immediate attention. Add generous layers of dry material. Shredded corrugated cardboard, torn newspaper, or dry cocoa coir work well, and mix it in lightly to absorb the excess moisture. Repeat this over a couple of days if needed. The smell will begin to ease within 24 to 48 hours as aerobic conditions are restored. Before we get to mistake number 3, if you are finding this helpful, take a second right now and hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We post practical, no-chemical gardening guides every week, and subscribing makes sure you do not miss any of them. It also helps other organic gardeners find this channel when they need it most. Now, back to it. 3 more mistakes to cover. Not everything from your kitchen belongs in a worm bin, and certain scraps are direct odor triggers that work against you every time you include them. Meat, fish, dairy products, and cooked foods rot quickly and produce some of the most persistent and powerful smells in composting. Once those odors are established in the bedding, they are very difficult to neutralize without a full bin clean-out. Oily foods are equally problematic because oil coats the bedding particles and blocks the air channels your worms depend on. Citrus peels and onion scraps are worth keeping out as well, not because they produce the worst smells, but because they are highly acidic and will lower the pH of your bin over time. Stressed worms slow down, process less food, and that slowdown makes every other odor problem worse. Keep your diet simple and clean. Raw fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, plain tea bags without metal staples, and dry cardboard or paper. When you are unsure about something, leave it out. Your worms will stay healthy and productive on that simple diet, and your bin will stay odor-free. Over several weeks, an acidic bin will show you clear warning signs. Fewer worms near the surface, slower food processing, and a sharp, almost sour smell that is distinctly different from the soft earthiness of a healthy, balanced system. Many gardeners spend so much time thinking about what to feed their worms that they overlook bedding almost entirely. Bedding is not just a habitat for your worms, it is the carbon source that balances all the nitrogen-rich food scraps you are putting into the bin. When that carbon-to-nitrogen ratio tips too far toward nitrogen, the decomposition process produces ammonia, and your bin will smell sharp and chemical rather than earthy and fresh. That ammonia smell is a clear warning sign that bedding has been neglected. The good news is that correcting a bedding deficit is one of the fastest fixes available to you. A generous addition of dry shredded cardboard can begin neutralizing that ammonia odor within just a few hours. A well-maintained worm bin should consist of roughly 70 to 80% bedding material, with food scraps making up only 20 to 30% of the total volume. A practical habit is to add a layer of dry bedding material every single time you add food scraps. Put the food in, then cover it with a matching layer of shredded cardboard on top. Corrugated cardboard is one of the best bedding options available because it breaks down at a steady pace, retains moisture without becoming waterlogged, and creates the loose, oxygen-rich structure that worms thrive in. Think of bedding as the foundation that holds the entire system in balance. Over time, this layering habit becomes second nature, and your bin will reward you with rich, dark worm castings that carry none of the sharp odors that come from a nitrogen-heavy, underbedded system. A worm bin is an aerobic system by design. It needs a steady supply of oxygen to function the way it should. When airflow is restricted, whether from a sealed lid, from bedding that has become too dense and compacted, or from drainage holes that have become blocked with material, the entire bin gradually goes anaerobic and the odor builds quickly. This is one of the most overlooked problems, because from the outside, the bin can look perfectly normal, while the conditions inside are shifting in entirely the wrong direction. In warmer months especially, a sealed or poorly ventilated bin can shift into anaerobic conditions within 48 hours. So this is not a problem you want to catch late. Start by checking that your lid has adequate ventilation holes, and that the drainage holes at the base of the bin are clear and unobstructed. Once a week, use your hand or a garden fork to gently fluff and turn the top layer of bedding. This reintroduces oxygen throughout the system without disturbing the worms too severely. If your bedding has become dense and compacted over time, add a generous amount of dry shredded cardboard and mix it in loosely to open up air pockets. Airflow is not a bonus feature in a worm bin. It is the foundation of everything that works. A simple way to confirm your bin has adequate airflow is to hold your hand an inch above the open bedding surface. If you can feel gentle warmth rising without a foul odor, the system is functioning aerobically the way it should. A smelly worm bin is never a mystery. It always traces back to one of these 5 causes. You are overfeeding, the bedding is too wet, the wrong foods are going in, there is not enough carbon material to balance the nitrogen, or airflow has been cut off. Correct any single one of these, and you will notice improvement within a day or two. Address all 5 and your bin will run quietly and cleanly without asking much of you at all. Most people who troubleshoot their bin find that 2 or 3 of these mistakes are happening at the same time, which is actually encouraging because fixing one issue often reduces the severity of the others automatically. The goal of a healthy worm bin is simple: a moist, aerated, balanced environment where your worms can focus on converting food scraps and bedding into some of the richest, most microbially active fertilizer your garden will ever receive. Once you have the conditions right, the smell you should notice when you lift that lid is nothing more than clean, earthy soil. That is the smell of a system that is working exactly the way it should. Worm castings produced in a well-balanced bin are far richer in beneficial microbes, humic acids, and plant-available nutrients than those produced under stress. So the effort you put into getting conditions right pays off directly every time you feed your garden. If this video helped you track down the problem in your worm bin, please give it a like right now. It only takes a second, and it makes a real difference in helping this channel reach more organic gardeners who need this information. If you are not subscribed yet, now is a great time to join us. We put out simple, practical guides for growing clean, pesticide-free food at home without complicated methods or expensive products. And if you have dealt with a smelly worm bin before, or if you found a fix that worked well for you, drop it in the comments below. We would genuinely love to hear what worked in your garden. Every tip you share in the comments could save another gardener hours of frustration. And that is exactly the kind of community we are building here.